Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Syntell, and I am here to give you my personal review of the remake of Snake Eyes that came out in 2021. It's actually came out last Friday, which is like 5-6 days from now. But I definitely have some opinions, so stick around and I'll let you know how I felt.
I've been following you for some time.
Do I know you?
I know you, Snake Eyes.
All right, so man, I don't even know where to start with this. Did I like it? I'll say I was entertained. Do I think that this franchise is going to be able to dig itself out the depths of obscurity because of this film? Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen with this one. I didn't hate Snake Eyes, but I sure didn't love him. There's a lot of things that was wrong with this movie, and I guess we could just start with the main character, Henry Golden. I haven't really seen a whole lot of other things that he's done, but I had a problem with him, probably not because necessarily his acting skills, but more so because Snake Eyes doesn't talk, right? Like, he's the quietest Joe. And there's some backstory behind that. If you're keeping up with the comic, there's a couple of reasons why. One was some kind of helicopter accident. Another one has to do with him getting shot in the face by like a transformer or something, or so I've been told. This story talks about absolutely none of that. It decides it wants to tell its own story, gives us a character that we all know and love, turn it on its head, and kind of like force feeds it to you. There's gonna be a point where you're sitting in the theater, if you're a G.I. Joe fan, where you kind of want to tap out for a little bit and be like, I don't know if I'm gonna continue watching this. And you have to make a decision. Hold on to the past and be mad, or I could just turn my brain off and then just take it for what it is. I chose the latter. I just turned my brain off and took it for what it was, because one of the big things is Snake Eyes is an asshole. Yeah, he's a jerk, and it's almost unredeemable. He's a thief, and he's a backstabber. He gets taken in by a member of this secret Yakuza organizational clan, I guess, per se. Their whole purpose is to monitor the well-being of Japan. They don't really go into full depths of what it is that they do. So they're kind of like underground good guys / bad guys. I guess there's bad guys in terms of that they're an illegal organization. Maybe not. But they do also work closely with the Joes in order to help maintain balance in Japan, I guess, and also to, more importantly, to fight the evils of Cobra, who is still a secret organization that we don't know a whole lot about, other than the fact that they're terrorists. So Snake Eyes is hanging out with this group of people because he was working for a Yakuza style mob who was definitely like the bad guys. They were doing some bad things, and he ends up saving the neck of one of their undercover spies. The undercover spy ends up being like the next head of this gigantic underground gangster organization. And that's how we met. All right, cool. So he's gonna teach Snake Eyes how to be a ninja and go on the traditions of the honored ways of this family. And I was cool with that. You get to see like some training montages and him learn the ways of being a ninja. But the thing that you really pick up is him and the guy who eventually is going to become Storm Shadow, how they develop like this bond. They grow together and learn to trust one another. And then I guess Henry Golden, somewhere in the story, decides to go against his better sense and betray this family because he has been working undercover himself in order to find out who killed his father. And once he's done, he kind of like finishes the show with my bad, let me go say I'm sorry to somebody I betrayed. And they kind of just like let him ride with it. It was just really odd. I wanted Snake Eyes to get like punched in the mouth for being a jerk. Storm Shadow ended up being, the guy who plays Storm Shadow ended up being one of my favorite characters. I think his name was Tommy. Andrew Koji is the one who plays in the Bruce Lee remake Warrior that comes on HBO Max now, which is great. He plays like this Bruce Lee style character who's trying to survive in San Francisco. He's really good with martial arts. He's really good with building his character. You know, he's just a really good solid actor and a good solid action star. He carried the movie. I was far more interested in him than I was in Henry Golden. Maybe it's just I think it's really just the character more so than the actor. It's kind of jarring because Snake Eyes doesn't speak and you don't see his face, and that's the main thing you see in this is his face and him talking. It's just odd. And then when he does talk and you can understand and take away the mystery behind who Snake Eyes is, you find out he's a jerk. There's some other redeeming qualities that go along with it, like for the training montages, of course, you got like the old blind master. You got another guy. He's the hand-to-hand combat master. He's played by Iko Uwais, I think that's his name. He's the hard master, and he teaches him like the hand-to-hand combat stuff, and that's pretty good too. Then there's other parts that it's just hard to overlook. Like Akiko. Akiko is the head of security for this crime syndicate, this organization, and she kind of like sniffs him out in the very beginning, and she's trying to warn Tommy, like, yo, we don't know who this foreigner is, and you kind of like bringing him in, introducing the mom, and we over here kicking it and stuff. You know, you don't want to vet him. So she kind of sniffs him out and then finds out that something's wrong and fishy about him. But instead of being the head of security and telling everybody, be like, yo, he's been sneaking around, let's deal with him, she just kind of like goes along with the ride, and he tells her some sad story, and then she just buys it. So I guess he's this honorable guy. But then there's this test where you have to like throw people into this pit that's full of pythons and snakes. And the snakes are supposed to determine if you're worthy enough to be a member of this group. And if you're not worthy because of dishonesty and loyalty or whatever it is that the snake deems not worthy, the snake is going to try and kill you. Yo, snake eyes jumped in the pit. The snakes looked at him and was like unworthy and tried to eliminate him. And who saves him? The head of security. Like it's a disconnect. That don't work. It's not like they were a love interest or anything. I guess it's because she respects him and she just met him. I don't know. It was weird. It didn't make sense. I wanted her to be fired. That's all I kept thinking about. Every time she popped on screen, I'm like, why isn't somebody firing her? She needs to have her little key card swiped, or her head beheaded, or the whole typical thing, whatever that needs to happen. Oh man, yeah, the guy, the tall black dude that was in Spartacus, Peter Menasha. Yeah, he played the blind sensei that can hear everything. And so you got these two senseis, and you think that you're gonna have like this amazing time with them. Each one of them has like one scene each. So I felt like a bit of a waste. They do find an interesting way to kind of like weave in G.I. Joe and some of the other G.I. Joe properties in two ways. One is through the Baroness. She shows up and she's kind of like the evil liaison to Cobra Commander. She's reaching out to the other organized crime group who is trying to take revenge on Tommy's family. They're working together and exchanging, technology and this fabled weapon that could help Cobra take over the world. But you get a chance to see the Baroness. She's all right, she's cool. And on the other side, you get a chance to see Scarlett. She has her typical red hair, and she's still a badass. There's this bathroom scene where she just like kicks everybody's ass. It was fun. So you kind of get to see those two worlds as they focus on what we think is supposed to be Snake Eyes story. Yeah, like I said, it's entertaining. I may continue with the G.I. Joe universe if they do somebody really interesting. It'd be cool to see like Destro. Now that we've seen the Baroness, it'd be cool to see Destro. Duke and Cobra Commander will become like later on. If I had to pick for them to do another one, I'd want to see Destro's story. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, you see that it got a 40% tomato meter from reviewers, but an audience score of like 74%. And it's one of those things where if you're entertained, I guess you're just entertained. But if you're a diehard G.I. Joe fan, you're probably not going to really like it. You're not gonna like what they did with Snake Eyes. And then, okay, so here's another thing. So I'm sitting here looking, and they got the like badass picture of the movie poster, and you see Snake Eyes in his Snake Eyes gear, but you don't see Snake Eyes in his Snake Eyes gear until like the last 5 minutes of the movie. The one thing that identifies Snake Eyes is uniform. So we don't see the uniform. We don't get to see him communicate through silence. We don't get to see his horribly scarred face if they were going to unveil it. Like, those are pretty big for talking about Snake Eyes. Well, who would you want to see regarding a G.I. Joe style movie? Like I said, Destro is the first one that popped up in my head. Ooh, what was the name of the dude that could change his skin? I remember the twins, Tomax and Zaymont. That would be interesting. Zartan. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a story on Zartan. He was the villain that could like change his skin. That was kind of cool. Maybe Lady Jane, since we got Scarlett already. Jinx could be fun. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be about it for this review. On a scale of 1 to 10, give it a 5. Hey, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, click the bell so that you can get notified anytime I drop some more information. All right, I'll talk to you later.